Recently, we took a trip to Halmstad, Sweden to visit our friends at the Eleiko headquarters. We were invited to come and speak to two different groups. On this day, I had the privilege of getting to speak with 12 to 15 individuals that come from the region and work in a variety of different industries at an executive level, which means that they lead a bunch of other people in their jobs. The idea of the day was to build relationships between Eleiko and these different companies and try and spread the message of health, wellness, and proper training so that they could take that back into their world, be inspired, and lead others to highly effective outcomes, healthy lifestyles, and happiness. We started off the day with a workout. Of course, it was going to be functional bodybuilding style. This is one of the first functional bodybuilding group fitness programs that I have coached in years. With COVID, we've basically been shut down, and it was a privilege and an honor and something that I had a tremendous amount of fun doing to get in front of a group like this and coach them with FBB principles. So of course, we had to give them the FBB classics. We started with a warm-up, then we did strength, balance, supersets, and then we finished with a conditioning piece that combined many of the strength, balance, and conditioning principles that we love at FBB. As a coach, when I'm entering a room with athletes of a variety of different fitness levels, I like to have something in mind that I know I can easily adapt up and down depending on what the group I have looks like in front of me and what their ability levels are. So we started off with line drills. Line drills are a great way to start warming up the body. You get dynamic range of motion, you start crawling a little bit, you slow down, you speed up, and you can get the whole body moving with a little cardiorespiratory pump. At the end, I like to add in some specific prep work for the movement patterns that we were going to train that day. So we did things like side planks, scapular push-ups, and a glute bridge march. These are all very simple foundational movements that work for beginners and advanced athletes as well. Next up was our strength balance work. With strength balance work in functional bodybuilding, these are the points that I love to emphasize. Strength balance means looking at any joint that we train and making sure that we're hitting the front, back, and sides of that joint equally when it comes to resistance. If you're going to push at the shoulder, I want you to do an equal amount of pulling to make sure that the joint stays healthy, strong, and balanced. That's what strength balance looks like. This comes into play when I'm building out supersets and when I'm looking at a week's worth of training. Additionally, in strength balance, it's very important to train one side of the body at a time. This is called unilateral training, or single arm pressing, single arm pulling, and single leg squatting. When you train one side of the body, there's a whole different stability demand on the joints. So after I had introduced some of these principles, we got to work. The athletes started their strength superset of the day, which involved single arm dumbbell bench pressing, goblet cyclist squats, and chin over the bar hangs, or a straight arm static hang. We like to implement tempo into our weight training. This is just a way to control the cadence and the pace that people are lifting at. Different tempos have different results. Some can bias hypertrophy, some are better for absolute strength, and some are really great for muscle endurance. In this case, I applied a 3-1-x-0 tempo to all the exercises. This meant lower down in 3 seconds, pause at the bottom, come up fast, and repeat right away. That slow eccentric, I told them and I taught them how that's going to enhance their mind-muscle connection. I made an emphasis to say, don't go heavier than you can maintain the tempo. And this is true across all programs that we like to coach. Additionally, I talked about with strength balance work, we like to vary our positions for traditional movements, like a goblet squat. We performed a cyclist version of the goblet squat today, which is when we elevate our heels onto a surface. Why would you elevate your heels? Elevating your heels helps to achieve deeper range of motion. It also helps to bias more of a quad dominant squat. Both of these things can improve knee health and allow you to tackle a traditional lift in a slightly new way. That added variation keeps the training interesting, might keep you more focused, and adds an element of anterior chain quad focus to an otherwise posterior chain dominant exercise like the squat. And then one final piece. We talked about having short, moderate rest periods in between exercises. The benefit of performing supersets like this is that after you've completed the first exercise, while you're completing exercise 2 and 3, so long as the movements aren't hitting the same muscle group, you're actually getting rest from exercise number 1. Therefore, resting for 30 to 45 seconds between exercises adds up to almost a full 2 minutes of rest until you return back to the original exercise. We can be very efficient with our time. And because we're doing work every 30 to 45 seconds with not very long of rest periods, we are getting a little bit of cardiorespiratory endurance as well. We're building work capacity. And building work capacity for most individuals who are training is something that feels amazing, that they will understand immediately has an impact on their wellness and well-being. And again, like I said before, for a busy professional like the individuals that I was coaching on this day, it's going to get you in and out of the gym a little bit more efficiently with having done just as much work. All right, now it's time to arrive at our final piece, which was a conditioning workout. This was going to be a 15-minute EMOM. That was an every minute on the minute workout. After I got done explaining to them why we do EMOMs and what the intention was, we got right into it. The points that I wanted to emphasize were this. When we do EMOMs, we like to make sure that on every station of the workout, you're actually getting sufficient rest. You should not be working right up until the final moment of each minute when you're doing this format. Instead, you should work for 20 to 40 seconds and then get 20 to 40 seconds of rest before you start the next exercise. Also important is that if you're a busy individual who has a lot of stuff going on in their life and you're using the gym to enhance what you do outside of the gym, then it's great to know exactly how long your workout is going to take. When you arrive at your conditioning workout and you do an EMOM format, you know specifically how many minutes this is going to take before you're going to be able to pack up, cool down, and head out for your day. So we hit exercises like the single arm suitcase reverse lunge, the single arm half kneeling press, and finally the pike leg liftover. Because of the way we formatted this, you can see that we're getting added strength training in, we're getting great core work in, and because of the defined rest periods and the short transitions from exercise to exercise on the minute, we built a lot of good cardiovascular fitness as well. I had so much fun with this group of individuals. They were enthusiastic, they got inspired by doing something that I love, and at the end of the day, everybody walked out learning something about how they could take it into their fitness program for the future. For my first international trip in over 3 years, I have to say I am so thrilled with the outcomes. I want to give a special thank you to Eleiko Sport for hosting us. You are an amazing company. You make the best equipment on the planet, but more importantly, you have an incredible mission statement, you have an incredible culture, and you have incredible people that work for you. I'm very honored to have been part of this particular day and the rest of the work that you continue to do around the world. Stay tuned for more content from Sweden. We'll see you next time.